My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
You are listening to the Smuggler's Galaxy podcast, my favorite podcast to listen to on long flights across the galaxy.
Favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. It's been a while, Jason.
How long's it been?
How you doing?
Nice little break.
Yeah. We still saw each other, but we had a break from podcasting.
Start the year. Good. I had some interesting pickups. Some post-sale stuff.
I have spoken.
Shop Disney. This was down to $40. Ahsoka Night Troopers with the Captain Enoch.
Yeah.
Which I think was a mistake to put Captain Enoch in a 4-pack. These are supposed to be troop builders, and if you buy multiple packs, then you're gonna have multiple Captain Enochs.
Right. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad move by Disney.
But then they've started putting on the side. They didn't normally have this on the spine of it. There's a trooper. I know you can't really see it that well.
Yeah.
But it's so you could start lining these things up on your shelf and you can see what it is.
That's kind of cool though.
Kind of like a book. So I got that. And then I got Jabba the Hutt and Salacious Crumb VC66A.
Did you frame that up yet?
No, not yet. It's still in the box.
You hadn't even opened it to do a little dance or anything.
I haven't done that yet. But I have held one.
Okay.
And then Amazon was throwing Cobb Vanth, the vintage collection, for like $8, and I was like, okay, I'll get one to open.
Yeah.
I mean, he interacted with the Mandalorian, so I can put him with the Razor Crest.
Yeah. Did he? So they went down to $8 on Amazon?
Yeah.
How would I get my money back?
I don't know. I have to ask Jeff Bezos.
I paid like $12 for him, so I mean, it's not even worth my time.
No. And then I went to a bookstore and I got the vintage first edition of Han Solo and the Han Solo Adventures by Brian Daley. It's the first book. There was a trilogy.
Uh-huh.
This was 1979 hardcover in good condition. I also got the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi sketchbooks by Joe Johnston, first editions.
Cool.
Then I also found what are they called? A cassette tape of Return of the Jedi soundtrack for like $4.
I've got a few cassette tapes that I would love to listen to, but I don't have a cassette player.
I mean, I got Star Wars on 8-track, and there's no way I'm going to be able to listen to that anytime soon.
Old audio is awesome.
Yeah, I was doing antiquing today and just going out with my wife and Harrison, and there's just tons of 8-tracks out there. Just classic tech that's just been totally obsolete and not used anymore, and it's just kind of funny. I was keeping my eyes open for like a graphics camera with the lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
but didn't find any.
Oh, I've been watching for those for years and haven't found any. So, oh well.
I did find one down in like what is it? Shoot, this doesn't matter. Conyers, like that area, Covington. I found one in Covington, but it was the wrong model, so I let it go. It was $100. It looked closer to Darth Vader's, but it wasn't exact.
No, that still would have been cool, but yeah, if it's not the right one, it's not the right one.
And I let it go. Now I regret it because that might be the closest I get to having one, even though
Right.
it's
Well,
not
plus
the right
for
model.
$100, it might have been a lot more money if it was the right one.
Right.
Plus, only us nerds would have been like, "It's the wrong one.
It's the wrong model. It doesn't have the right handle."
Well, I haven't picked up, huh?
That's all I picked up. I've been 3D printing the Wolfman from the Cantina. His eyes glow. This is the back of his head. You can't see it. Never mind. It's an audio podcast.
All I see is a big white blob. I don't even see it, Jason.
But Yeah, I got my printer fixed and it's up and running and working and I'm cruising once again and I've got three more aliens after this to print, so
Where are you going to put them all?
they're just right on the floor right now. But they have purpose, don't worry.
Okay. Oh, geez. Yeah,
After the
I
after the
haven't picked.
purpose, I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Right. Yeah, I haven't really picked anything up. I'm hoping Toylanta will be fruitful this year. So we will see. It's tending it's prepping to be pretty freaking crazy with the amount of crap that they've got going on.
Yeah, it's Toylanta like you've never seen it before. I mean, they merged with PowerCon, so they've got guest people coming this time around. Although they've
Right.
had guests in the past, but
This
they've got
is
like
crazy.
this is more than like Pixel Dan. This is like Power Rangers and April O'Neil from was it the second one? Second movie?
I didn't pay that close of attention. I'm not a big Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wrong franchise too. That's how big of a fan you are.
Yeah, exactly. I
Uh
used to be. What was sad is I used to be really into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then I like moved up here, and my stepmom was like, "Ooh, they're the devil," because they did some kind of weird role playing game, and she didn't like role playing because of Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. So I kind of got out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just never pursued it. I guess I grew up too, so that would probably help.
that happens.
Yeah, but I still love Cowabunga, dude.
But yeah,
Let's
it's
go
going to
eat
be
some pizza.
huge, and I got to start thinking about our booth because I don't necessarily want to do just the backdrop. I feel like we need to step up our game a little bit
Yeah, we should. I don't know how much, I don't know what we're going to have as far as stuff goes, but I mean, we can use some of those TVs from Rogue Fun to maybe put something in the background.
and do that. I can bring the Star Destroyer, although I don't know if that adds any value. It's just like here it is.
Right? Could. People would be like, ooh, what's this?
It gets them
Um,
to the booth, I guess. We're looking for eye candy to bring people in
yeah, that would be a pretty big eye candy. I mean, I got a bunch of toys that Second Chance gave us. We could give away. We just have to figure out how to do it. I mean, I know that wheel we got, we can probably put something on that wheel and give some stuff away for maybe a buck a spin or something stupid.
Oh, I forgot the posters. I got to
I
order
haven't
those
got those
posters.
posters. Yeah. Maybe we can do like $5 a spin and get a poster or something.
Well, there's those big posters that we've
Right.
got, but then I was going to do the Shore Trooper posters.
Oh yeah.
So I guess we've got a lot going on.
We just need to put it together and we've got like a month to do it because it's one of those things where we talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, and we got other stuff come up, and then before you know it, boom, here it is.
Yeah, because now we're doing trivia too, so I got to put that together. I've been like scratching down trivia questions. I think it's only like 10 questions because if it's an hour long,
Right.
four questions for the first 20, 25 minutes, and then four more questions, and then possibly a tiebreaker.
Are we gonna do like the bar thing where you have a 5 minute song in between each question, or just kind of go for it?
I think I might do like 3 minutes,
Right.
but yeah,
Well, we got to make sure. I got to make sure we got a PA or something, some way to
I
play
have
that.
something.
Okay.
Harrison got me a speaker for
Oh,
Christmas that I could take out to the back deck. And
nice.
does it have a yeah, it's got a microphone. It's a karaoke thing. So
Even
I
better.
could yeah, I could do that.
Is it like the FM the Mr. Microphone? Hey, lady, I'm gonna come to check you out
No,
later.
not like one of those. It's a Bluetooth speaker. So I could play from my phone like music, but it's like this big and it's got
Yeah,
color on it. So
that should be good enough. I don't know how many people we're gonna have show up, so
yeah, it's
you
going to
know.
be during room sales. So I'll be disappointed if you kind of show up. You should be at room sales.
Yeah,
I'd be
well,
at room
I
sales.
mean, I kind of feel the same way about panels at Toylanta. We've done panels with 5 people. We've done panels with 100 people. It just all depends on the mood,
Yeah.
and who all's going to be there, or if people who what's all happening at the time you decide to do the panels.
Yeah. Right. So it'll be yeah, it's gonna be exciting and fun and different and bigger and it's gonna be like a proper convention now. It's not gonna be just a ballroom convention.
Right. It's something. It's a change that they've been needing to make to Toylanta for probably the last 3 or 4 years because they had a pretty good setup at a hotel and then they outgrew the hotel probably 2 3 years before they moved, and then when they moved they just never have been able to properly go back to what they were able to capture at that hotel, and hopefully with them moving to a more like of a one story or one big room, it'll capture some of that back, capture some of the magic of Toylanta.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, that first hotel might be difficult to work with, and there wasn't enough parking to grow. And this new convention, it's a proper convention center, so
Mhm.
hopefully it'll be good.
Have you ever been to the one that was on 85 in Chambly? The one.
No, that was before my time.
Okay. Yeah, that hotel was cool. The parking, they had a decent amount of parking. It was free. I know when Martin was running it and his big holdup, or he was trying to continue with the free parking, and there wasn't a whole lot of places that you could still do free parking. I know we're gonna have to pay for parking at the Gwinnett Arena, but it's a way better. I mean, I think as long as you're paying like $5, it's no big deal. But when you're having to pay 15, $20 for parking and 15, $20 to get in, then all of a sudden you're $100 down before you even walk in the door. And that's not good. That's not good for a convention, in my opinion, especially if they want you to spend money. But
Yeah, I don't want to lose $50 walking into the place. I want to spend that
exactly.
$50 on a toy that I can bring home.
Right, because then on top of it, you're paying parking all 3 days and tickets all three. Well, tickets are only like $25. I don't know what parking's going to end up being, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen. But that one on 85 was nice. They had it set up, and it is one of those. I will say how, sort of like with Dragon Con, where Dragon Con's nice and spread out. And if you have been there for 20 years, you know where everything is. That's sort of the old hotel at Toylanta. You kind of knew where everything was, and they kept moving it around, and people were missing rooms, which kind of sucked for those people in those rooms.
Would suck.
Yeah. So anyway,
But not this year.
what else we want to talk about, Jason? It's sort of a weird episode. We're
No, I
recording a
got
little late. We've had a weird weekend, and
yeah,
it's just been a weird but good start to the year.
I've I got some news.
Uh-oh.
The Hound himself, Rory McCann, who played the Hound over several seasons of Game of Thrones, will be taking over the role of Balin Skull after Ray Stevenson passed away. This is more of a favor to Ray on Rory's behalf because they were good friends, and he felt like he had to do the role justice for his friend. So that's why Rory is stepping in.
Well, that should be good.
So
I thought he did a good job as the Hound. He does have some with him having to be in Game of Thrones, he has some sword fighting ability, so maybe they can bring that into the character, bring some more of that into the character.
he was in a small cameo in Gladiator 2 as well, and it was kind of weird because I think he had one line, but he was like prominent in most of the movie, so I think he was cut down.
Mm-hmm.
But he was there as like the head of the Praetorian Guard.
Oh, cool.
But Yasmin Mesri shared photos of her as a Jedi in a deleted scene from Skeleton Crew. I won't get into it because it's spoilers, but a Jedi did appear in the show, and she was cut. Hoping that we'll see that scene because I think it would be an interesting scene to see if they
Oh,
release the 4K version of the show, like on Blu-ray or 4K.
ooh, that just hit me what scene that could be.
Yeah,
Well, we're going to talk spoilers here in a little bit. We'll get there when we get there.
yeah. And then this is a bit spoilery, according to a rumor, and
Uh-huh.
this came from a couple people, so I think it's got some steam. Embo from the Clone Wars, voiced by Dave Filoni, who was a bounty hunter,
Mm-hmm.
will be the villain of the Mando movie.
Hmm.
Embo is trying to get Rada. He's trying to kill Rada the Hutt. Is it Rada? Did I get that right? The little guy,
Mm.
Stinky.
Oh, Stinky. Well, then that would make sense why Stinky is rumored to be in that show.
Yeah, Embo's trying to kill him, and Mando's trying to save him. This
Hmm.
is according to Christian Harloff, who I will watch for UFO stuff, but he also does movie stuff. So,
Okay.
but there was a second source that sourced that, if that makes sense. But
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. That would make sense. Then that rumor has legs.
he's one of those cool um bounty hunters with the saucer like head, and it's like it could stop blaster fire, so he's able to like jump forward in the air spinning with this saucer in front of him,
Ooh.
and when people hit him, like it just hits the head.
Yeah.
Like it hits the saucer and does nothing to him, and he's acrobatic. So I hope they do a true translation of that character in the movie. If that's the case, I hope it's not like in a truncated version where he's older and he doesn't have the moves that he once had.
Don't pull a Boba Fett.
Yeah, don't do that. We don't need
I've got
dad bod Embo.
I got a sore thumb. I cut it a finger, a hangnail. I got to go back in the back to tank.
Yep.
That would be funny.
And then here's a bunch of rumors. I'm gonna categorize this all as rumor roundup. I expect to have some more confirmation of things in April during celebration. I mean, they've got to talk about something. So hopefully some of this stuff will be brought up. But for now, it's just rumors, and I'm sure we're going to get more rumors leading up to celebration. They're going to talk about this, they're going to talk about that. The first thing is that Ewan McGregor is going to be returning to Galaxy Far, Far Away. According to this rumor, he will appear in Ahsoka season 2, probably as a flashback, because that was probably the most successful scenes of the show is the
Yeah.
flashback stuff. And so we'll see Hayden and Ewan and what's her name? Ariana together
Yeah, that'd be
as
cool.
Clone Wars.
That would, dude, the Clone Wars people would lose their mind over that.
So yeah, that might be a thing. And then there's more rumors. It's not specific, but it's just more steam that I keep hearing this come up and over again that Cal Kestis will be in live action soon.
Yeah.
I guess people like those games. I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming a curmudgeon, but coming from Zelda and then playing this Survivor because I'm still in the middle of it, it's just not a game for me. It seems like there's like two different Jedi. There's the Jedi you see in the movies, and then there's
Mhm.
the Jedi in like the Clone Wars and in video games, and they're two different kinds of Jedi.
Yeah. I mean I'm splitting my time between that and Outlaws, and they're very similar gameplay. I'm kind of getting a little bit aggravated with Survivor right now. I'm because I know there's a jump dash, and I'm trying to figure out how to get that. And I think I'm on the right planet to get it, but they're like explore the planet, and you're like, and then before you know it, there's these big ass scorpions that come kick your butt, and that's where I'm at. I'm walking around, and oh look, there's a scorpion, and it's going to kill me. And then you meditate. I meditated 20 minutes ago, and I'm right back to where I was 20 minutes ago. So I got to do everything I just did again. So it's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know if you're further than me in the game or what. I don't remember Scorpion.
Are you on a desert planet yet?
Jeddah?
It, maybe Jeddah.
Oh,
They
I've beat
reunite,
Jedi.
huh?
Yes, with the Night Sister.
Yes, you're with the Night
Yeah,
Sister running around.
yeah, I've beat that.
Okay.
That was I have a high anxiety with heights,
Uh-huh.
and there's a part at the end of Jedi that just shot my anxiety into overload. And yeah, so you haven't got to that part yet.
I also know there's one part that takes people like 3 days to get through because it's you need to use everything because it's like you're in space and you've got to time things right and there's things moving that you got to hit at a certain time and it's supposed to be a very frustrating part of that game. So obviously you haven't made it to that point yet either.
No, I haven't made it to that point, but that's part of my issues with this game is that it's just sometimes it's not fun to just like have to time something right.
Right.
Jump, jump, jump. It's like
Yeah. No,
I
I
struggle with
I, I
that.
feel you. I mean, I'm at the point I am on that planet. I know I can leave it, but I know I need stuff before I leave it. Like I said, I know I need that jump dash, and I just need to figure out where to get it. But I mean, it's just like explore the planet, and there's no rhyme or reason behind it. You just kind of looking at your map and like, oh, I need to go over here, so you go over there, and then you find a new spot. And like I was playing a night, and I found a new spot, and by the time I had gotten there, I was down to like one um stem pack, and then this big scorpion comes out and kills me, and then I'm back to where I was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I
So
remember where you
I
are.
got frustrated with it, and
Yeah.
yeah, those style of games do get frustrating when they don't autosave.
Yes.
And like you said, I guess I'm just old man yelling at the clouds, which
Yeah,
sucks.
I don't have patience for it anymore. I just It's not my style of gameplay. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
they
yeah,
make they
I
make it they make it seem like it's open world, and it's not. There's a route you need to follow, and doors are locked on purpose until you get to a point where you can unlock it.
mhm.
But they make you think like you could go through that door, you just can't go through that door yet. But that's not an open world.
You would probably really enjoy Outlaws since you like the
Sure.
Grand Theft Auto games.
Yeah.
I think you would enjoy Outlaws.
They just need to dumb it down for the Xbox. And if they've done that for Survivor, hopefully they'll do it for Xbox One. Because they just announced the Switch too.
Yeah.
So it's like I want the Xbox S or X or whatever for the next Grand Theft Auto, but also if
Mhm.
there's a new Zelda game, I'm gonna have to get the Switch too.
Right. Welcome to the world of gameplay. That's what my wife was saying. The PS6 is getting ready to come out. I said it's probably not going to come out for another year, and then they're still going to support the PS5 for 2 or 3 years after they release the PS6. So I got a good 4 or 5 years with this system, and then we'll move on. I'll move on when the six goes on sale.
What they say.
Yep.
So in conclusion, don't be surprised if you see Cal Kestis show up in live action. And I'm not exactly sure where he will fit in because the Mando movie kind of feels small if it's a one-on-one bounty hunter mission.
Yeah.
And to introduce like other characters like Cal Kestis might not be the best place for that. So maybe during Celebration we might get, if I was going to speculate, we might get like a new show that would make sense for Cal Kestis to appear in.
That'd be fun. I mean, if they're gonna do a show, I don't think I would mind it, but just do it right.
And then to preserve Rey for an episode 10 movie, she may appear older in Sean Levy's movie that is supposedly filming this fall.
Hmm.
Um, if they do that other Rey movie that has been delayed a couple times, that will be like the episode 10 and she'll be younger.
Okay.
I just wish they would stop jumping the timeline and just make a cohesive, a linear story with Star Wars movies.
Right.
It's just too confusing for the common moviegoer.
Just do it. Just do what I guess Marvel does. And don't Marvel kind of keep everything pretty
Yeah,
cohesive?
Marvel goes in the linear path for the most part. There's a couple movies they did, like Black Widow, it took place during Civil War after Endgame came out, if I
Hmm.
remember that right. But yes, it was after Endgame came out because by that time the Black Widow was dead.
Yeah.
But again, just a rumor. Doesn't mean it's going to happen or it won't happen. It's just there's a possibility that Ray will be older in Sean Levy's movie, and she'll have lived through episodes 10, 11, and 12. We just haven't seen it yet.
What if they make a movie of Ray swimming across the English Channel?
They already did that. It's on Disney Plus. Or floating down the Nile. Was she in that one? Murder on Was she in Murder on the Orient Express? Yeah, she was in
Oh,
Murder of
okay.
Orient Express because Josh Gad was in that, and they kept doing viral videos about him trying to get information about Ray, and she was just like rolling her eyes at him.
Oh, then there we go. She'll be on a slow train or slow thing down the Orient or slow train to China.
She'll be on the
Yes.
midnight train to Georgia.
There you go.
And then to conclude the rumor roundup, the rumor is that Dave Filoni's heir to the Empire. I don't like rumors, so listen to me doing all these rumors, but there's nothing to talk about, so just deal with it. We'll just get our hot take on this. Dave Filoni's heir to the Empire movie might hinge on the success of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. If that movie does, if
No.
that movie doesn't do well, the conclusion of the Mandoverse might be pushed to the small screen for a limited series on Disney Plus, as opposed to investing tons of money in a movie. So those are the rumors, and that's the news for the week. But take it with a bit of salt. It's just, don't put too much credence into it. It might be just, something that Glenn and I talk about, and it might not ever happen, but you can get our hot takes.
Right, exactly. Maybe Kathleen Kennedy will retire and the new person will come in and be like, I don't want to do any of this stuff.
That's very true. I mean, they might finish up what she started, but she might not actually do it.
Right.
or they might not actually do it. A new person, like you said, might come in and say no.
Right. Or they may come back in and say, I love Grogu. I love that little green guy. Let's go for
Let's go for it.
it. Let's do it.
So,
So,
anyways,
anywho, what do you want to talk about, Jason? What's the big
yeah,
product? Did you finish Skeleton Crew?
yes, yes, I did.
Yes. What you think of it? All in all.
All in all, I have one small complaint, which we'll get to eventually, but all in all, I thought the kids were great. I thought there was great character development. They took time with each character to build something out. You can honestly say at the end of the series, they weren't the same as the beginning of the series. It's great to have this small view of Star Wars, like a different section of the galaxy. It did feel like it belonged in Star Wars. I enjoyed the pirates. I mean, some of
Mhm.
the best stuff about A New Hope and Return of the Jedi are the villains, the guys in the cantina and the guys in Jabba's palace. And so it was just like a pirate crew just filled with those kind of creatures and aliens. And I thought it worked really well, and I was very happy and pleased with the end result. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, I concur. I think they probably could have gone a little bit heavier with the pirates. Like you were just kind of saying that, we always want to see that I'm putting words in your mouth, but I felt these words come out that you wanted to see more of the pirates. But then again, it's kind of taken away from the main characters of the kids. Um, I thought it was a perfect representation where if you or I was put in the Star Wars universe, we'd act just like those kids did.
Yeah,
Wim, we would all be Wim. And when we got to get in a gunner seat, we all would be like, holy smokes, this is awesome.
yeah,
And if we ever held a lightsaber, we would probably hold it upside down and hurt ourselves.
right.
Um, so no, and you definitely felt the progression of the kids, from point A to point B. And the same thing, like Wim was like, "Oh man, that means everything's over, and we're gonna go back to being normal again." And towards the end, it was like, "No, kid, I think there's more options for you in this world, in this universe, than just the great work." And hopefully, I would really like to see like a season two, but do like a year or two time jump, to see where the kids are and see where
Yeah,
Adden is. I did enjoy the feel of things as far as, you saw some new lore in Star Wars that we hadn't seen before with the whole New Republic myths and all those planets that, and all the at planets. I'm assuming they all were at something. Um,
they were.
And so yeah, I'd love to see more of that lore. I think it's something that if they don't explore in the Skeleton Crew, definitely is something they could throw into another show. I was talking to other people, and I was all like, I need to figure out why Jude Law's character is the way he is, and I'm like, they're gonna explain it in like 5 seconds, and they did exactly that. The
A little
thing
bit.
we've been waiting for to figure out the whole season, they explained in 5 seconds, which is classic. I know Dave Filoni didn't direct it, but it's classic Dave Filoni storytelling, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it. My grandkids are watching it right now, and I'm curious to see what they think about it.
I
But
was.
I thought it was a great way to get kids into Star Wars.
Yeah, my daughter loved it. She was on edge the entire episode, the last episode, and she was laughing in hysterics. And I thought, the show's working. It's doing what it's supposed to. It's
Yeah.
bringing a younger audience into Star Wars, which is imperative for the success of the franchise.
Right. I think it was a perfect mix. It's something where you and I, the hardcore fans, could get into it. It had enough lore in it, to get people, to let so that we could enjoy it, and then it was enough to where the younger generation could come in and be like, Star Wars ain't half bad. I want
Ye-
to learn more about this stuff. I would have liked to have seen some more deeper cuts. I thought that they left some stuff on the table. Because they could have done some really easy cameos with the X-wing pilots, and they didn't. I was kind of disappointed in that, but then again, it's like, would it have taken away from the story if Zeb would have been flying one of those, or Carson Teva flying an X-wing? would it have
Yeah,
taken away from the story?
I thought that was done well. I didn't want a cameo to distract me from what was going on in the show
Hmm.
in the climax. That would have taken me out of it and be like, oh wait, there's Zeb, or oh wait, there's Carson Teva, or wherever the case may be,
Hmm.
or Callahan, Lieutenant Callahan from the E-Wing from Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That well, anyways, um, what do you think about the droid being the supervisor being in? Sorry, we're getting spoilers, and I've just spoiled it for you. There's your spoiler warning.
You
The
didn't
droid.
say it all, but you said it pretty
I
close.
said enough. Uh,
Um,
the
I thought it
droid.
was
The dro
interesting. I would have liked to have seen maybe the pirate. I know, but I think too much time had passed for the pirate to be the supervisor. And it also felt very Wizard of Oz-ish, with that. Uh, and then I'm also like, just the way it's Jard, right? Is how you pronounce this the
Jod.
character, huh?
Jod.
Jod, the way he was just able to, oh, I'm going to stick my lightsaber in your eye and kill everything.
Seemed much,
Yeah, it
but
seemed much, or it seemed too easy.
maybe it's too easy. But maybe that's not the point of the show. Maybe the struggle really was between Jod and the kids.
Mm,
I thought the climax was great. I thought
yeah.
for a second there that Wim might have the Force,
Yeah.
and it comes out when he tries to pull the lever to destroy the barrier around At.
Oh, that would
Um,
have been cool.
but that didn't happen. I could have swore like in that moment he was gonna. There was a Star Wars Jedi moment there that the Force was gonna come through, but
Well, you know what happened? There wasn't somebody in standing far away with a button that they could have pushed to push it down so they could have
yeah.
the force, just like they do at Disney World with the sword.
But but I did like Jude Law. I thought he was charismatic and sympathetic in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just trying to do the best, and he fell into the wrong crowd, and he was trying to make money for them. And I thought he was a great villain in the
Hmm.
end. The only issue that I had was so I have to compare it to A New Hope. It's almost like Luke Han blew up the Death Star, they land their X-Wing, and then the movie's over. There's no throne room scene. And that's kind of how I felt like the show ended. Like
Mm.
they were able to stop the pirates. We don't know what happened to Jod, but I mean, we don't know what happened to Darth Vader at the end of A New Hope, so I let that slide. But you see the was it the Rebel blockade runner land,
Yeah.
and that's it. We don't get the throne room scene, in my opinion. I felt like there was one more beat, another 5 minutes. It didn't need to be a talking scene, but it could have been a scene where I don't know, the kids get their grades at school and they all pass. And that's it. Like we know that they're well.
Yeah.
Um
That
I
would have been nice.
I felt like it was just too open in the end. And that might
Mm.
be because they're handing the show off and the characters off to someone else and they don't want to pigeonholed.
Maybe.
But I
It
mean,
it also felt like the way an 80s movie ended. Where it was like, oh, now you don't have to take your exams.
I
Except,
don't know.
you know,
I just missed
um,
that last beat.
it did. I definitely felt there could have been one more beat. I know, and it could have been solved with a post credit scene that they didn't have. It could have been one where they threw somebody throwing Jod in a jail cell, or them taking their, like
Yeah.
you said, finishing their exams, or being like, well, since the supervisor's dead, you don't have to take your exams, and um, go from there. I did, now that we're on like that kick of things, I thought it was interesting that everybody knew, the adults knew what was going on, but the kids didn't. And then they were like, once you graduated, you were supposed to know this. So I think it was
Well, it was true to the kid's perspective then.
right, exactly. Yeah, I would have liked to, I don't know. I think it was good storytelling because they're leaving us wanting more from it. Whereas like the Acolyte, we were like, that kind of sucked. And this we're wanting more.
Yeah.
Even though I like the Acolyte. This I think was I what really sucks as far as I'm concerned is you get, and maybe it's because we don't get that many Star Wars things. You get like three or four shows and you get one that hits, and then we're gonna have like three or four shows that are okay, or you're gonna have one, you know what I mean? Like the first couple of seasons of Mando was great. I enjoyed the third season of Mandalorian because it went away from Mando and Grogu and went into Mandalore. Um, but then you have like Kenobi. Kenobi was good. And then Acolyte was okay. And then you have a home run, I think, with Skeleton Crew. And I don't know when we're going to have another home run.
Yeah, I have to congratulate Lucasfilm for that, finally getting it right and knocking it out of the park and getting a good show. Like all the characters had their own moment to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Even Neil, like because of one of the earlier episodes, learned that there was a gun on top of the school, so he was able to open that and defeat the kid or defeat the pirates
Yeah, I
or distract
enjoyed
them.
that kind of stuff.
It all
Um,
just came back around, and I thought it worked really well.
yeah, I mean, and also they kind of, because with the girl with the visor, you were kind of like something's off, not off with her, but that visor's more than just a visor. And then you come to find out she's basically a android.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that in Star Wars. I like the bionics, like Luke Skywalker has a replaced hand, but he doesn't become a robot. I mean, Darth
Mhm.
Vader's the robot, and he's the bad guy.
Right.
You want to be more human than machine,
Right. Well, maybe it's time that they start making those more nicer people.
maybe.
Um,
I don't
but
know.
anywho, I for the most part I enjoyed it. I know there was no, not for the most part. For 110% I enjoyed it, and they need to start doing more shows like this, in my opinion. Lucasfilm does, because they, like I said, they knocked it out the park with Skeleton Crew. I think it
Yeah,
was the perfect bridge show.
I agree. I agree, and I can't wait to see what more they do.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get some announcements during Celebration, because right now, after Andor, this spring, right after Celebration through the summer, we won't have anything for a year.
Oh,
And that might be by design to get people hungry for Star Wars by the time Mandalorian Grogu comes out. It's not like, well, I just saw that on TV 3 months ago, so I don't need to go see it in the movies.
right. And I'm still suffering with the, you'll see something cool and you're, oh, it's only at the movies. Damn. So I'm still in that mode with theaters where I'm not like, oh my God, I got to go see that. And I'm hoping by the time Mando and Grogu rolls out that that will have changed in my mind.
We'll see.
Yeah. And I hope it changes, because I mean, people have said that Skeleton Crew, the ratings were down for Skeleton Crew, but I'm like, how do you do ratings for a streaming show? I mean, I don't know. Maybe people are waiting. You got to realize, well, maybe people are waiting for the whole thing to come out, and then they're going to watch it. And then you had two episodes. One episode came out Christmas Eve. One episode came out New Year's Eve. So it's like, I'm sure that messed with things. And I didn't understand that, why they kept those two dates at 9 o'clock on Christmas Eve, 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve. They should have shifted it um to the Monday, because I
Yeah,
know stuff that I watch on Apple TV, Silo came out a couple of days early that week.
because
To get I
people
get
won't be
either
around.
to
Yeah,
huh?
because people won't be around. They'll be out.
Right, exactly. Who's going to want to watch? I mean, I know we did because we had nothing else going on, but you're with family and friends. You're not going to watch that show when it comes out 9 o'clock on Christmas Eve,
Right.
because you're going to be busy doing stuff. But I hope they make more. I don't want to see. I'm tired of seeing the negativity. I'm tired of seeing the show, the ratings were down, so they're not going to do another one. And it's like nobody really knows.
Good, and I want more, which is the way
Yes, it
they
was
should leave it, I guess.
right. I do want more. I love it. I mean, and I don't know. Star Wars is kind of like pizza. It even bad pizza, good pizza.
Yeah,
So, bad Star Wars content, still good Star Wars content.
I agree. Good
Yeah.
stuff, and hopefully we'll see more.
Yes, sir.
And where's the vintage collection Skeleton Crew figures? All we got is Jod. What am I supposed to do with Jod? Not that I'm going to open and play with them, but where's Neil? Where's Wim? Where's KB
They're
and
all in
Fern?
the Black Series, man.
Black Series. I could just wait a couple months and buy those for $5 in the next toy swap.
Yeah. That's what because I know a lot of people do get frustrated with that. It's like, why are they? I guess there's the profit margin
Yeah.
better on Black Series. So is that why
Yeah,
they're doing it?
it's my understanding that the figures are cost the same to make. And this is just old rumors that the
Mhm.
figures cost the same to make no matter if it's Black Series or Vintage Collection, but you've got an extra $10 with the Black Series.
Well, maybe they need to quit charging $17 for a vintage collection figure and maybe it'll sell better.
I don't know. I'm starting to get to the attitude where it's like, all right, just close the store.
Close it, yeah.
I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Ship. I was trying to say
Yeah, you
ship,
saying ship and it came out that other word.
the bad word.
The bad word. Language, Jason, language.
Yeah, I know.
Um, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm also like out with the modern, very, very modern stuff. I'm so out of collecting that from Star Wars. Um,
Doesn't affect you.
it doesn't affect me, but I mean, people like you who are completists that want that figure, it sucks. And then like you do see a lot of the stuff from Acolyte, like the lightsabers. All those characters had lightsabers. I mean, the cheap $30 lightsabers, but now they're on sale. So, but they did a
Uh,
SME. They did a SME, but it's on like the kid version, the 4.5 point articulation.
Yeah, that's very weird. The whole app was it Epic line or Epic
Yeah,
series or something? They just clearanced all that stuff out, and now there's more coming.
yeah.
It can't be selling that well to the point where they need to make or they can make more. It's all speculation.
It's all speculation. I mean, but still, man, with my, I'm also in that ballpark with my grandkids. I'm not going to spend $17 on a figure. I'll spend 5, or whatever, for the TVC stuff. But, I don't know. Where Star Wars toys I think are in trouble, but they'll have to figure it out too. Maybe when the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out, they'll have their act together and they can actually sell some stuff.
I'll be very interested to see if they do a separate line for Mandalorian and Grogu for like the 3.75,
Hmm.
like they used to for episode 1 and 2, how they had a different card and a different kind of theming,
Hmm.
or if they stick to the vintage collection, because I have to think that Hasbro's aware if they change something, people are just
Hmm.
gonna find it as their endpoint and they're gonna tap out.
Right.
Because that's what happened with the plastic free stuff.
Right.
People stopped collecting, and Hasbro's like, "Oh wait, we love plastic, we love money. Come back, look at this."
Right. Well, I think it was a combination of people tapping out and people figure swapping.
That too. But I do think money speaks, and when because that doesn't affect them because at that point someone's already bought the figure and swapped it out.
Right.
It's the people who didn't buy it because it was plastic free and they couldn't see what was inside.
Right. Or you get retailers like Walmart and Target going, what's going on with this?
Yeah.
Look at this. People are swapping stuff out. They're putting rocks in it and returning them to us.
But I would be leery of any changing on if I was Hasbro because that might just end habits.
Mm,
People might just be like, okay, I'm good.
yeah. I mean, do you?
Just
I'm trying.
speculation.
I don't know. I think for like, but also my grandson, like for our 9 and 10 year olds, I think they do need to have a line, and I think uh TVC may be too much for them. But there's the adult collectors that have been collecting it, so it's a fine straight line they gotta travel. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
that's what they thought with the retro collection that the 9 and 10 year olds would start collecting that, but I haven't seen that yet.
But I mean, it's also been so diversified now in collecting because now you can choose between Hot Toys, Sideshow, Funko, Lego, Hasbro, Jazzwares. You
Mhm.
can't collect it all like you could back then when it was just Kenner action figures.
Right.
It's become so diversified, so the pool is smaller now, and then you're taking small slices out of that. So the big chunk that Kenner once had is now split up 4 different ways, 5 different ways.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That makes sense. I guess it's sort of just like with our TVs, back in the day when you had 3 channels, you were getting millions of views. Now when you have 200 channels in streaming, everybody is different.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how the next 2 years play out for Lucasfilm because I would anticipate at some point Kathleen Kennedy's going to retire. We're gonna have to get more streaming shows, but I don't know if they're just gonna do one a year.
Mm-hmm.
So we get Andor this year, and then next year we get Ahsoka, and that's it.
Right.
Because we were getting 3 shows a year.
Hmm.
And
It's slowed down for Marvel too, hasn't it?
yeah, but they're trying to refocus and quality over quantity.
Okay. Well, maybe they need to do that with Star Wars. I would be down for Star Wars following Marvel's model if they need to right the ship.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be working for Marvel.
There's also got to be a new cartoon animated series coming because we did see job postings for new animators.
Yeah.
So
that would be cool. I hope they do a good, like I said, Ben, bring me another Rebels, man. Bring me something cool. Don't give me another Resistance. I even gave Resistance a try, and that's where I draw the line.
Whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I figured that was for little kids, and I stopped watching it.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
No.
Anyways, guess that's it. Anything else?
Yeah. No, I think we're good, Jason.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. If you could, please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen. It really helps us out and points people to a show. You can follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We love feedback and we love to make you part of our show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the logo. And thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Sabine will be on next week. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. This is the way.
This is the way.
Oh, man.
What?
Oh, I see it now. Instead of saying Sabine will be on next week, it should be make at Latin. Make Atlanta a thing. Instead of at.
You're right.
But
Well, I'm still recording, so maybe I'll leave that in.
Leave it in. I messed up. It would be appropriate because we talked about Skeleton Crew. So if I go next week and say make Atlanta a thing,
people will be just like, look at that man.
what are you talking about? This is the way.
This is the way.